Hey guys. Hello, how are you guys? Sorry these videos are really late. I feel like I'm in the shadow over here. Like hold on, I'm gonna scooch over here. Okay, so these videos are done really late because it's the only time that, we have time. Joe's off of work and he's off of his duties, not even really supposed to be doing like homework right now, but I'm like, can you just do a video with me real quick? Okay, so this question came from, actually we're not going to read the name who it came from. A friend. We'll just say a friend. So this is a marriage question, okay, and this is, dun dun dun.
So the question is, it says, we always have something going on around the house, projects. It says that we always feel, so that's good, it's we, so it must be a mutual thing. We always feel like one works harder than the other. And so she's asking maybe about how do we express gratitude towards each other, how to complete a task together. And then another thing that adds to the stressful part is she feels like she's working much harder or much more dedicated to the homeschooling portion. So it looks like, they're both people that are very busy. They're both doers, go-getters. And so working together on a project seems to be difficult. Appreciating what each other does do. So maybe one feels like I'm giving 90, you're only giving 10.
Which is typical.
Happens. And then the other dynamic is that she feels like she's putting a lot more effort into the homeschooling portion. So maybe how to distribute that.
So this subject is really, it hits home for a lot of couples and a lot of marriages, because sometimes one is focused on certain things and then we want the couple or the person to help, but we don't necessarily allow them to help because we have an expectation. And when they don't meet those expectations, we're usually like, shoot, let me do it. And then when they go and do it, or when they don't do it, we're just like, why are you not helping? Why can't you just read my mind that this time I really want you to take over? So it gets a little difficult. So we want to kind of give you this principle that will kind of help for the guy and for the girl to just be able to keep this in mind. And in the Bible, God specifically tells us, okay, and this is a rule. He tells the guys, love your girl. He tells the girls, respect your guy. So this is important because in the beginning, I would want him to take the kids a shower, and I'd be like, do you not see that the kids are dirty? Like, how does he not see that? And the kids could go probably a week without them taking a shower, and he would just be okay with it. So, but the thing is that when he would do it, I would just be like, did you clean behind their ears? Did you wash them with this soap? And I started disrespecting the fact that he was even helping. So that kind of was a big turnoff for him. And he just kind of started to push away and then just kind of like stopped.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, either I don't help and get yelled at, which is much better than helping and still get yelled at. So, I'd rather not help and get yelled at. Anyway. That's kind of like where this situation, when you need something from your husband, what would you say would be the best way to kind of get you guys to do something? Well, it's going to be unique to each person, right? So again, I'm always gonna defer back to you because I don't know your situation. So a lot of what we say is going to be in general terms.
Yeah.
So what I know about me is this. I have a little bit of an issue with when somebody says, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Okay?
He doesn't like that word.
I don't like when she says that. And the reason why I don't like when she says that is because maybe a little pride issue. Maybe it's just something that I deal with. But I don't like feeling like I'm being made to do something.
Like he has no choice.
Right. Like I'm being made to do something. Okay? So what happens is that when she says, can you do me a favor? Do I really get to say no? Like, what happens if I say no? I'm probably going to hear about it. She's going to huff and puff. She'll have somebody else do it and be like, oh, how sad I can't have my own husband help me do this thing. I don't know, something like that. Yeah. So, that's just me personally. So you might have an issue or your husband might have an issue with the way that you say it. Okay, maybe the way you say it, which is usually what happens. It's the way you say it, not what you say. The way you say it, maybe it automatically turns its ear to like, okay, she's griping at me.
Yeah.
She's complaining again. What else did I do wrong? What else did I make a mistake on?
Yeah.
What else have I not done right lately? And so what it did was it took me to mature, to be a big boy and say, look, can you just say it like this? And this is why. So it took me a while to figure it out. So give yourself a break there, right? And wives, give your husband a break. He may just not know how to express it yet.
Yeah.
But guys, as you're maturing, as you make an effort, which is going to be the hard part, is we got to make the effort to realize what's going on. Then I was able to tell her like, hey, I don't like when you do that. When you say, can you do me a favor? I automatically feel like I really don't have a choice. Like, what am I going to do? Say no? But when she says, can I have your help with something, or can you help me with this? That activates a part of me that comes natural. I love to help people. Yeah. I love to be helpful. I love to lend a helping hand. So when she says, can you help me? Yeah, sure. What do you want me to do? There's a little caveat in there because when I do it is another issue. But anyway, we don't need to go there. So, but when she says, can I have your help with something? Automatically it causes me to jump up and feel like, yes, I can contribute. Yeah. I can do something good. I can be helpful. Therefore, I'm useful. Therefore, I feel good because I contributed to the relationship, and it makes me feel like I'm a better husband for being able to help her. So that's just me. So you may have to figure something out amongst yourselves to figure out, husband, to tell your wife, can you say it like this? Or do you have to yell when you say it? Or women have a big tendency to do stuff like throw guilt trips. And so this was a cause of many of a fight for us because guys, we don't function that way. We don't work by guilt trips.
And we do. Like anybody can say like it just anything negative to us and we're just like, I'm changing that. I'm changing my diet. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna change my hair. Like we work like that. We just do. And they don't care. Like they make fun of each other. Like, seriously they do.
That's right.
And they don't care. So when we tell them like, well, so-and-so helped. Well, so-and-so did that. Well, the neighbor did this for his wife. They're just like, well, great for the neighbor.
Go marry the neighbor then. Yeah, so we just don't function that way. So women, if you've been doing that and it hasn't been working, then you have to change your tactic.
That's why.
And it doesn't matter how many times you say it. It doesn't matter how many times you throw it out there. Yeah. We don't get hints and we don't work off guilt trip.
And they don't read minds, for sure. Sorry, that's like 14 years. They do not read minds. And with him specifically, like, I had to make sure if I had to make a list because I needed his help, then I would make a list. And I had to understand that he worked all day long. And I needed, my space when he would come home from work because there was a point where I was a stay-at-home mom. And I did like the house stuff, I did the cooking, I did that. And he would come home and like, he would just, like relax and stuff. So there were times where we had to make an agreement what I would say like, okay, I need space, like I need to clock out. Can you just help me with the kids? And then at the beginning I would say, can you babysit the kids? And he told me, they're my kids. Why would I babysit the kids? But I told him like, that's how I felt like I literally had to tell him to babysit the kids. So we started to work on that. And finally I started to have this space that I needed where go get tea with the girls, go for a walk, go, to the store by myself. And he would allow me to have that. So we kind of started to have a good balance. Now, when I started working, then we both kind of shared workload. And we made sure that we made a list. What can you do? What can I do? Let's help. But communication is key. If you don't tell your husband what you need help with or what you cannot handle, they're not going to know. And if you say, Vanessa, I already told him, I like mentioned it. No, you have to sit down and you literally have to draw it with color crayon and a pencil box in a house. Because that's how they understand. And, when they're at work, their bosses tell them, I want this, 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 this done. And guess what they do? This, this, this done. Their boss doesn't say like, okay, I'm just going to guess what I want you to do and you have to guess it. And then meet my high expectations. Like, that's not like that. It's like the other time that Joe said, it's unrealistic. It's not real. It's not going to happen. So make sure that you make a list, what you need help with, sit down and talk to your husband. Husband, I need help with this. Not nagging, Not bringing up the 1,000 things he didn't do, but just simply asking for help. Make it very simple.
So I would say, if we were to directly answer that question, I would say start with a concept of like when you walk together holding hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Make a conscious effort to see who's changing for whom. Is the wife, are you trying to pick up your step to try and match his steps because they're longer, bigger steps? Is he trying to shorten his steps to try and coincide with yours? Is it a collaborative effort? And use that as a way to determine how you guys need to work together. You know, it's like it's a small demonstration, but go for a walk. Okay, I would recommend at least once a week, holding hands, and try to see who's got to change their steps in order to meet the other person's pace. In that same vein, in that same thought, if this person, they do lots of projects and they're always doing something go, 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 perhaps that's kind of contributes to the issue.
Yeah.
Is that I want to go, go, go at my pace, do things my way. She wants to go, go, go at her pace with her own idea of how things should be done. But that doesn't mean that we can meet each other's pace, slow down, speed up, one or the other, or appreciate the other person's idea for how things should be done.
Yeah.
So I would say make an effort, whether it's walking, a project, do it with the intention to learn and study the other person.
Yeah.
We go through life, through education system for 12 years, right? Just basic education, 12, 13 years, just to figure out how to have like a quote unquote career to survive in life. But we spend zero time trying to understand what it means to be in a loving relationship or a successful marriage. Yeah. So use that as an opportunity to study your spouse, to get to know the ins and outs about who they really are. And this really doesn't matter about how long you've been married. It could be 20 years, but you don't have a real relationship because you're doing it for the kids. The kids grow up, they move out, and then it's just you and her, you know, you and him, and you don't have a relationship, so they split up after 25 years of marriage.
Because they have nothing in common.
Because they have nothing in common. And that doesn't mean that you have to be the same, right? There's no such thing as a perfect soulmate. That's just a fairy tale. But what happens is over the course of time, we study each other. And then what happens is I learn what she likes. Go ahead.
No, I said you just create that bond. You end up like knowing this person like the back of your hand. And because of that, you become really intimate in a different level. Because we were able to do that for each other. Like, I was actually talking to somebody and I said, I was literally going to give up on this guy, like divorce him, and not even knowing and thinking that I was going to miss out on the best person that I could have had in my life, on my best friend, because all I wanted to do was what I wanted to do, and all I wanted him to be is what I wanted him to be. And it's not that he's not what I want him to be now, but it just took a lot for me to get to know him, and he, on his own, did it out of love for me. Not because I made him, but because he loves me, and he does things out of love. So when it comes to a relationship, when your husband does something for you, like he said, the project, and he's trying to keep up, and then you're still nagging at him, you're still being mad, you're still being upset, like it's a really big turnoff, because the one person that he needs to come home and lift him up is constantly belittling him, or it's constantly telling him, like, you didn't help out again. Like, did you call this person? You still haven't done this. Did you do this already? You still haven't done this. So it's, instead of hearing constantly, like when he does something great and you can say, Vanessa, like, really? Yes, praise him. You did this, man. Thank you so much. You know, like, as soon as he does something great, have sex with him. I'm not joking. Like, make sure that when he does something good, he knows, like I don't want to say this like this, but like when a puppy does a good thing and you give them a treat and then they're just like,
I'm not offended.
It's like, I know if I sit, I'm going to get this treat. So they know if they do something worth praising or worth, you know, your love and affection in that way, they're going to do it again, and they're going to make you happy again and again and again. But if it's negative, why do you think they're going to want to do something when they're just going to get put down? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and since you brought up the analogy about the dog, it can be discouraging when a guy gets home from work, Okay, and this is no discredit. Maybe both of you work. That's fine, but that doesn't have an effect on this particular analogy.
Yeah.
It can be discouraging when a man gets home from work and the dog is the only one that runs up to greet him. Okay, and what I mean by that is that some sort of a welcome to show like, wow, dad is home, or my husband's here, or a feeling of appreciation for having gone out and sacrificed and worked to come home to see the people that you get up and do it for.
Yeah.
So to come home, and it's kind of like you get home and before you can even sit down, it's the list of things that you haven't done yet, or gripes and complaints about handle your kids. I can't take it anymore. Your turn. I'm out of here. I'm done. Yeah, while you were out, I've been dealing with this and that. Like, I get it. Right? I get it. There does need to be teamwork and there does need to be effort on both sides. However, I don't disregard her for the sake of making myself happy. The opposite should be true. I should be able to sacrifice on my own to make her happy. She shouldn't sacrifice me for her happiness. I sacrifice on my own to make her happy. And that's the balance that's really hard to find, because it takes mature people to lay their pride down, to lay down their anxieties and their frustrations and their angers and maybe even grudges. You got to lay that stuff down and work together. So we went from doing that, hurting each other, frustrated with each other, irritated at each other, to really just allowing God to work in our relationship to the point where it was now, let me get to study my wife. And going back to my previous point, maybe you need to find a project that you do with the intention of letting her take the reins. Let her have the idea. Let her see the project through, and you come in as a loving support, or vice versa. Maybe you do something that he wants to do that you think is the dumbest thing in the world, but that's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
And so you just come alongside of him and you support him and let him see that through, and you just see how happy he is and how happy you made him, and that should make you happy. And so I study her to figure out what she likes and dislikes. And before you know it, I'm actually finding joy and pleasure in seeing her laugh, seeing her smile, seeing her enjoy herself. Like doing this.
I was just going to say that right now.
Not my thing. Okay? And I don't know if she posted that video, but there's a video of her saying this is not his thing. I don't need her to tell people this is not my thing.
I erased it. I didn't put it on.
I can say it on my own. I know this is not my thing. But you know what? There's something that I see that awakens in her when we do this together. So this is me giving my best effort. I'm trying to let
I'm like, it's hot in here now.
I'm trying to let you in to see my because I can't be jokey, you know. I can't be. At least I think I'm funny. I tell dad jokes and stuff. Yeah, that's fine. But a lot of people don't know that about me because I don't let everybody see that, and so it could look like, man, I'm just rude and sarcastic and standoffish.
He's not. He's a nice guy.
He's
a really nice guy.
You have to say that because you live with me. But the point is that I'm trying my best, you know. So I have all these things in my head that mess with my head. I'm like, man, whatever. I could spend an hour just talking about what goes on in my head. Anyway.
Hold on. And that actually happens in every guy's head. Yeah. And I am not joking.
I call it the committee.
You think that we're bad? Holy smokes. Like, in their mind, every single day, it's like, I'm not good enough. I'm not a good provider. Mm-hmm. I'm not a good husband. My body's not good. My face is not good. I'm not handsome enough. Like, it's insane. It's insane. I'm not even joking. Like, and it's crazy because we talk a lot. Like, I'm just like, dude, you're worse than I am. Like, in their minds, I mean, guys are. And the thing is that it's crazy because we don't see them this way, because they're always quiet. Because you ask them, how's their day? Fine. My day was fine.
Good.
Same old. You know what I mean? And so they don't talk about these things, not even to each other, not even to another guy. So guess where it all just stays? In here and in here. So then here comes the love of their life, the person they chose to be with, and then we're breaking them down even more. Like, how sad is that? Like, how sad is that?
So, it's going to take some effort. You can see we got issues. Clearly, we got issues. Okay? But we're trying to work through it together. okay? And that's what this is about. It's about when one is down, we lift each other up. When I'm down, she lifts me up, and vice versa. So maybe do a project together with the intention of letting the other person lead. And no matter how crazy or dumb or stupid the idea sounds, you're her partner in crime, and vice versa. Okay? And just support each other.
Yeah.
Learn some things, take notes, study your spouse, become an expert in who your spouse is, what he or she likes. Okay? And see if things don't change, and see if it doesn't change you in the process. Speaking specifically to the homeschool thing, a lot of people are going through it right now.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
Right. And I would just suggest that because right now, thankfully I'm able to go to work. Okay, they consider me an essential worker, so I'm going to work. In her case, she's not working right now, so she's having to stay home. And forgive my words, I know moms and dads, whoever's staying at home, it's work. Okay, I get it. It is work. So maybe I should say she's working from home. And she's taking the brunt of the work and responsibility for homeschooling the kids.
Yeah.
So the way that I can help, is when I get home, if there's homework, if there's something that wasn't understood during the day, instead of forcing it on your kid and frustrating your kid, and now both of you are frustrated because you're fighting and arguing and saying, well, you have to do it because you have to do it. Maybe they just take a break and they don't do that at that moment. They move on to something, the next lesson, or if that's all they have for the day, then maybe they take a break and they wait for the other parent to come in. And so I'll help out with homework. There are some strengths that I have, like with math, or
all of it, just all school stuff,
or just checking for mistakes.
Yeah, he's good at that stuff.
So then I come in and I alleviate that burden from her. So if one of the kids was frustrated, then they both take a break. They don't do it at that moment.
Yeah.
And so I come home later, then we do it together. So there's no frustration, there's no anxiety about it. They just know, hey, when dad gets home, we're going to talk about this again. They didn't have to go through the whole drama of crying, this drag out fight. And now when they come to do it with me, they're already crying, they're already frustrated. I'm like, what's going on here? I didn't even do anything yet.
But I'll let him know. So the main part is communication. I'll say, okay, guys, Aiden, we're going to wait for dad. I'm going to text dad. I text dad, hey, babe, like, I'm going to need your help. Can you help me with Aiden with this? Like, you're really good at this stuff. Can you help me? And if you say those words, you're good at this, you're better at this, you're awesome at this. Right. Like, I can't do it, but I know you can. You just butter them up.
That's right.
And
it works.
Yeah, it works. And they're just like, oh, yeah, I can help with that. Oh, yeah, of course,
And the text message, right? I read it while I'm on my way home. I got my mind right already. It's not like I'm getting home and then she's hitting me with the list.
Slap him with the books.
Yeah,
Here, you take them.
I'm already mentally preparing that I got to do some things when I get home.
Yeah.
Okay, she's asking me for help. She's not saying, can you do me a favor, which is just my personal thing. So it works out. It sounds like a lot. It is a lot, but it takes time and practice.
Yeah. So communication, okay? Do a project together. Have him choose it so that way he can know, okay, she supported me. Now I'm going to support her. Okay? Do the exercise with walking together to see who walks faster, like how can you guys keep up, and it mentally will help you get a visual of how it is in real life. What was the next one? Make sure that you divvy up projects or things, have a communication of who should take what or who can help with what, and make sure that you are throwing the streams, throwing like confetti every time they do something for the guy. And you can say, Vanessa, like, really? Yes, please do that, because that's the only way you're going to get him to do things over and over and over again. And have lots of sex, because that helps a lot. Just saying.
Facts.
Just saying. Anyways, okay, I think that's it.
So I just encourage you guys, really take it seriously, have fun along the way.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be this burdensome thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be all at once. Have some realistic
Baby
expectations.
steps.
Take baby steps.
All right. So love you guys. So if you guys have other questions, because we're still going to be answering questions, marriage questions, please inbox me, message me. We're not going to say who you are. We're not going to put you on blast. We just want to make sure that we give you guys the content or the information that you're asking for. And yeah. All right, guys. So love you guys. And if you missed the video, or if you want to share it to somebody, Share if you liked what you heard, and I will also put it on the YouTube channel, which is Gracefully Living with V. All right, guys. Bye. Good night.
Take care.